Hey, Merry Christmas, everybody. It's Christmas Eve as I film this, and welcome to another episode of LonsTV. Figured today I would talk a little bit about Christmas from a secular Jew perspective, as best I can, sort of chat about Christmas. I know it seems very non-festive in here right now. I promise there are actually Christmas decorations just off camera here. We do have a tree. There's some presents underneath it. There's actually stockings. Even the dog has a stocking that I'm going to put up in a little bit. I don't know what I'm going to put in the dog stocking. You could give the dog treats, but he gets treats every day. That doesn't feel like it's special. It's Christmas. You know what I should do is I should poop in it, because that would teach him a valuable lesson. Finally, he could see things from my perspective, all excited, Christmas morning, running out to the mantle to see what he got in his stocking, and poop on the floor, just like I see when I come home from my apartment all the time, excited to arrive home at the end of a long day. So then we'd lock eyes, and it would be one of those knowing understanding, like, see, not so great, huh? And he would learn a valuable life lesson. But it's not festive, so instead, I probably will just give him some dog treats or make him some eggs and then squeeze him in there or something, and then probably wash it afterwards, because storing it till next year in that condition would not be ideal. One other thing I wanted to talk about here at the beginning. My girlfriend is visiting her family, so I've been alone all week leading up to Christmas. I've been watching a lot of Christmas-themed television, and one thing I've noticed, a lot of film and TV Christmas-themed comedies end with this scene where, like, the cynical old adults and teenagers who don't believe in Christmas anymore are talking to, like, a mall Santa or a guy dressed as Santa, and then that guy leaves, and then their friend who's dressed as Santa comes, and it's like, well, who are we just talking to? That must mean, it's the real Santa. And then it always ends with, like, a shot of, like, it's the real Santa whizzing in front of the moon, like, oh, Merry Christmas, boys! And that happens a lot, despite the fact that this is an impossible scenario. Not because Santa does not exist. I mean, I'm giving myself over to, like, the magical realism of what I'm watching, where it's like, well, in that world, Santa does exist, but it's not a mystery. Like, Santa either does or does not exist, and if he does exist, he's been giving you magical presents every Christmas, and you know, your family doesn't have to go buy presents. Like, if you had to go wait in line at Target for 45 minutes like the rest of the world yesterday, that means Santa doesn't exist. That's the thing that's so great about Santa, is there's no shopping and buying and all this, like, oh, I gotta go out and get gifts for all the kids. It's like, no, a magical elf or a saint or a man, or I never got it all straight, but a guy who may be an elf or not, but is magic, is just gonna come bring us gifts, unless you're like a Jew over the age of 12, in which case the gifts dry up. But until then, and for everybody who's not a Jew over the age of 12, like, they're just magical Christmas gifts. That's the whole point of Santa. So you wouldn't have a situation where you would be, like, surprised to learn that Santa was real. He's either real or he's not real. There's none of this middle ground. Like, if Santa's real, he's a dick, because nobody's been getting free presents that I know about. It's always like, well, we went to Best Buy and waited forever, and here's Call of Duty. Go entertain yourself for 10 minutes, and then start getting excited for next year. It's... and I don't mean to be one of these Jews. I know I mentioned a couple times already, like, oh, but Jews, we don't get presents on Christmas. I don't want to be one of those guys. I'm actually a Jew who's sort of up on the whole Christmas concept, because it's not like you can't celebrate Christmas. I mean, if you're a religious Jew, granted, yes, Christmas must suck, but I don't know if it sucks any more than, like, just being a religious Jew sucks generally at any other time of the year. Like April 20th also sucks if you're a religious Jew. Like, November 11th sucks if you're a religious Jew. July 14th, like, they're all shitty. Like, it's just not a good time. But non-religious Jews, it's basically like, you know, the whole Christmas season is it's opt-in. Like, want to go caroling? Yeah, sure, go for it. People will read it however they want. Like, oh, you're just real tolerant of other people's religions, or you just like to have fun, you know, around the holidays, or you've been dragged there by a friend or a significant other, or even, like, you're a hipster and it's ironic for you, but you can still go and participate. If you don't, screw it, hang out at home with your underpants and your heat turned up watching Jerry Maguire on TNT. Like, nobody cares. You literally can't be judged disparagingly no matter what you do. It's kind of delightful, actually, because Christmas stuff can be fun if you kind of give yourself over to it. But when you're a Jew, it's totally no pressure. Like, if you don't feel like doing it, no one is going to get you gifts if you don't solicit them. Do your own thing. So I kind of dig that. I know a lot of Christians are actually starting to lean towards this. Maybe there should be like some secular Christmas thing and then the religious Christmas holiday. And I think this makes sense for everybody. Like, I know I would enjoy it being a non-Christian. It'd be great to like totally separate the religious angle and just have a holiday that was like Santa and Frosty and Rudolph and not even have to worry about it. I'm totally behind that, but I think Christians would probably prefer that too, because you always hear the complaints of like they're taking the Christ out of Christmas and it's all about consumerism and it's not about what the holiday is really supposed to be about. And I say, way to go. Also, Jews would be spared pretending Hanukkah is like really significant. Like, you wouldn't have to go through these mental contortions every year pretending this like obscure event by this obscure historical like guy tried to kill the Jews in ancient times is like that happened every 8th day. Like, you don't have to have a holiday for it. And so finally, Jews would be free of having to bother with like the latkes and the dreidels and the little games for raisins and all that crap, and could just have fun like everybody else. And we could let the Christian people get back to having Christmas be an actual religious holiday about something real that they like to observe. It would be exactly like Ramadan if it had a fun secular pop culture part. And so the last thing I wanted to talk about in terms of Christians, well, it is sort of about Christians, but it's more about Christmas, is I'm a little confused. I feel like Easter, the logic of it kind of breaks down if you look at it too close. It's like the resurrection of Christ with you so far, got it. That's what you were really celebrating. And then I even get like the eggs. It's like, well, rebirth, it's spring, and Christ redeemed, and he's back, and it's renewal. But then you get like bunnies and chicks and baskets with grass in them and bonnets and chocolate. And then you're just like, okay, I have no idea like what any of this has to do with anything. And Christmas is really weird because it's on one hand, it's like Christmas is about giving, and it's about giving to others, and it's about loving other people and giving of yourself. And we celebrate it by teaching kids that there's like a magical fat man whose entire life is predicated upon building and making you things. And all you have to do is just act like you're supposed to. You don't have to do anything good. You have to go above and beyond. Like, just don't make trouble for mom and dad equals this guy's entire job. His reason for existence is to give you shit for free. And it's like, I don't get how that came about. Like, that's a weird combination. I'm not against it. I like getting and giving and gift giving, and it's fun. But it's a weird, contorted way around. So that is my discussion for Christmas. I hope it's not too relentlessly negative. I love Christmas. So I hope everybody has a wonderful, wonderful holiday and enjoys the weekend and some time with your families and candy canes and eggnog and not eggnog. It's gross. Let's all be honest. And that's it for LonsTV, and I will see you on Monday with another new episode. Merry Christmas.